Yeah, historically, when you see where gold is flowing, that's your economic winner. That's who's winning. And where the countries that are losing gold, those are the countries that are losing. That goes back several hundred years. That's sort of how it works, which
Well, I
makes
would
sense.
say
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so that's the first hint there, that the gold is starting to flow towards economic powers. That generally happens when they know or suspect there's going to be some sort of switch to the financial system or danger to the financial system. All right, now we jump to the how is gold valued? This is what I want you to hear here.
Pizza.
What about, okay, so gold is almost
impractical.
hovering at about 3,000, a little under 3,000 an ounce. Is there a threshold at which it becomes, because there's a lot of gold in the Earth's crust, and it's just too expensive to extract it, but is there a threshold at which gold production just ramps up dramatically? It becomes worth it to extract a lot more gold, and it affects the price because of supply and demand.
Yes, ultimately, its supply will be a function of price. And then there's a lot of it in the ocean. In theory, if you dry out the oceans and filter it, you could, and that's just a question of price. And the question of price is ultimately a question of, if you wanted to, that's how much energy do you need to expend to get that out of the crust where it is and refine it down so that it makes sense. Right now, it's going to cost you way more in energy in order to get that. So you're not going to do that. And so if price goes up enough, then it makes sense for you to expend that amount of energy. It ties back to our stock to flow and why gold is valuable. When you think of it in those terms of it is when you need to expend a lot of energy to get gold, and the price of gold determines how much energy you're willing to expend to get it. It's just a compressed and portable storage of energy.
What does that sound like?
Bitcoin.
Exactly. And so gold here, he's describing it as if this is a very effective way of storing a unit of energy. But because we have to mine actual physical gold, there's a limitation to who can do it and a concentration of this gold towards certain players. Of all the gold that's in the world, almost none of it is in the hands of the population.
Except in India, which they have a ton of gold in the population.
No, it doesn't compare to the thousands of tons that central banks have.
Of course.
And
so that raises a deeper and more fundamental question, which is, do the great powers have a built-in incentive to keep energy prices higher than they would naturally be in a truly free market?
Depends which great power, right? The Chinese, all else equal, want to build a consumer society. They would like to have energy prices cheaper. America, we like cheap oil, but not as cheap as we used to like it because now we have shale. So we want Goldilocks oil.